To get started, welcome back to Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire for a match between Ryan Southall at Cody 50. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for this Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour Class A North Round 11 match. And it is good as always to have you along with us. The match format is 5 strings with 14 points on offer, 2 points per string, 4 for total pinfall. If there's a tie, the points are evenly split. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, brought to you by 3 Ball Spare Conglomerate. This match was played on Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. I'd like to highlight a few things. First, this broadcast should have subtitles and live captioning enabled, so if you enjoy this feature, please feel free to enable it in the controls below. If you're watching this broadcast on YouTube, the transcript feature will likely also be available. Next, throughout the match, I'll describe the play-by-play action and provide up-to-the-minute scoring to the best of my ability. Keep an eye on the unofficial scoreboard on your screen. It's here for the benefit of the broadcast, while the bowlers maintain their official book records separately. Scores may be subject to review or correction. I may occasionally pause to verify scores if things seem out of sync. I appreciate your patience when that happens. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, there may be times where I may indicate notes in the description if I catch scoring errors in post-production, so please be sure to check those out. I'll do my best to add chapters to the YouTube description, so you can choose to jump to certain points in the games if that is your preference. If you've never seen Candlepin Bowling, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you and hope you enjoy what you're watching. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Your continued viewership is greatly appreciated. And if you like this content, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more exciting matches. And of course, if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. So Ryan Southall and Cody 50 will bowl 5 strings of Candlepin Bowling, in which points will be awarded to the victor of each string, as well as additional points awarded to the bowler with the most grand total pinfall out of 14 available points. So our bowlers are just about wrapping up warm-ups, and we should be starting in just a few moments here, so stay tuned. Just letting the bowlers know that we are good to go. So today it's going to be Ryan Southall coming all the way down from Exeter Bowling Lanes to challenge Cody 50 in Manchester, New Hampshire at Lakeside Lanes. And we will start in just a moment. All right, here we are without any further delay. We are starting things out with Ryan Southall, our away bowler, on lane 5 here at Lakeside Lanes. And Ryan Southall starts out with a 9-drop on the head pin. It's the 7-pin. Piece of wood. 3 pieces of wood. But Ryan Southall don't need no wood. He'll take a spare to start things out. Ryan Southall with a season record of 84 and 56 with 10 matches bowled. He has a 1.5 win-loss ratio for the season. When he's away, he carries a record of 38 and 18. It's a 2.11 win-loss ratio. He'll fill that spare with 1. Lemon drop on the 4. Second ball is on the head pin, though. Leaves the 5-6-3-10 on the deck. And it's going to be for a 10 box. There's no wood. Southall is right on it for a 10 box. That's 21 after 2 for Mr. Southall. Ryan Southall has a season average of 111.98. He has a home average of 108.67 and an away average of 116.95. And that's a 9-drop. Another head pin shot 9-drop for Southall. 2 for 3 on the head pin. 6 pin on the deck. And he has it for a spare. 31 and a bonus after 3. Southall working on a spare. Set you off the target, but it'll fill with 6. Decent mix with that fastball on the first ball. Southall will lightly connect with the head pin and take the sleeper, leaving the 7 and the 10. And that will be a 9 box for Ryan Southall in the 9th for 46 after 4. And he'll take 5 and leave 5. 6-pack minus the 7. 1, 2, 5, 4, 8 for Ryan Southall. And he'll thinly connect on the head pin and turn it into a 2 triangle. 2-pin danced around everything else. That'll be an 8 box for Ryan Southall. And that will be a 54 half with 2 spares for Ryan Southall, a 40% head pin completion percentage. 54 is the benchmark for our home bowler, Cody 50, to achieve or exceed. So Cody 50, our home bowler at Lakeside Lanes today. He has a season record of 94 and 46 with 10 matches played. When he's at home, he has a record of 40 and 30, a 1.33 win-loss ratio. At home, he averages 110.12. That's an 8 drop for Cody, leaving the 1 and the 3. The ball's a little bit off. It actually comes right back down the lane. It actually has not left the gutter, if you can believe that. I don't think I've ever seen this. It's going to actually roll all the way back. This is a live ball that came all the way back. A free ball return for Cody 50. I don't know if that's interference if you pick that up. Anyways, that's a 9 box for Cody 50 and one of the most dramatic opening frames I've seen in a long time. Cody 50's at 9 after 1. Cody 50's high single is 153 this season. His high series is 613. Oh, and he'll get a lemon drop of his own as well on the 4-pin. Both he and Ryan Southall have lemon drops in the bank. .52 ball is slightly to the right of where the first ball went. He'll take 6 more out, leaving the 1, the 3, and the 8 on the deck. And that'll be a hard-fought 10 box for Cody 50. 19 after 2. Let's look at Cody 50's stats. So again, he's 94 and 46 for the season. Currently number 1 in A North Division 4 and the number 2 seed in Class A North overall. He's bowled 10 matches and is effectively the front runner for Class A North right now. And Cody 50 has a working ball. Has yet to find the head pin so far. Second ball is a little off the mark as well. And it'll connect with the head pin and leave the sleeper for a 9 box, 28 after 3. $50. To the left of the head pin drops 6. 1369. And he's right on it. That's a spare for Cody, 50. In the 4th, right when he needed it. See, we have that replay queued up for you. So it was the 1369. The sleeper pin is the most difficult part of that shot, but Cody 50 had no problem taking that out. And he's just doing some pin maintenance down there. Extra piece of wood and a respot. Just waiting on a pin setter. So where are we today? We're at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. Since 1959, in a very scenic area nearby the Massapequa Lake. Plenty of food options all around Lakeside, like the Goldenrod, the Puritan Backroom, Mojo's, Ritza's Pizza, and nearby downtown Manchester, of course. Multiple times voted WMUR's Viewing Choice Best Bowling Alley. Cody 50 working on a spare. And he sure is. That's a 9 fill, 47 after 4. And he's right on it for a double spare. That's 57 and a bonus after 5 for Cody 50. And he has exceeded Ryan Southall's 54 half, and then some, pending the next fill from Cody 50 when he returns to the approaches. But we're now going to say hello once again to Ryan Southall. Hasn't found the head pin in this half. First pitch was a little bit off. Drop 6, 1, 7, 8, 10. He'll connect with the head pin and nothing else. 7, 8, 10 for Ryan Southall. And a 7 it shall be for 61 after 6. So talking about Ryan Southall, he is an away record of 38 and 18 when he's on the road, which he is today. A high single of 143 and a high series of 607. And that is a spread eagle 4-drop split for Ryan Southall. He is currently second place in A North Division 2 and the 5th seed in Class A North overall. And he'll connect with the 3 on the spare bid. Offer not accepted. It bounces around. Southall will take 3 and leave 2 for an 8 box, 69 in 7. He's currently 3 for 7 on the head pin with 1 split. And there's a strike for Ryan Southall all the while. And here's the replay on that strike. He was on the 1-3 pocket with the last pin struck in the back row on the left side as the stragglers. Ryan Southall for the season has 27 strikes, 128 spares, and 114 tens. For the double, he drops 7, splits 7. That's a setback in the 9, the 5, 10, 9. And he'll take 1 out and leave the right side setback, the 5, 10. So he'll fill with 8, and that'll be a 9 for 96 and 9. Ryan Southall has a perfect box percentage of 53%, 5,599 seasonal total pins. And he'll connect with the head pin and leave the bucket of 5. Oops. I said, there we go, leave the bucket of 5. And he'll take 2 and leave 3. 2, 4, 7. 7, 8, 9, or 10 box. Potential 106 first game for Southall. And 106 it shall be. Ryan Southall with 3 marks. Had a 106. Could have been a little bit higher if that first spare was not a lemon drop fill, but alas. He's 6 for 10 in the head pin. 60% head pin quarterback rating. 1 strike, 2 spares. Cody 50 is sitting at 57 and a ball after 5. So, depending on how things go, it might be swaying in Cody 50's favor, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And Cody 50 with an incredibly fast strike. So fast that we probably have to watch it twice. Look how fast that ball was. That's a full speed replay right there. What a pitch. 3 marks in a row for Cody 50, 77 and counting in the 6th. Oh, and that hard ball doesn't always work. That was a quarter Worcester on the 2. One more ball to complete the fill. And it was a decent out on the second ball for an 8 fill. And it was on the head pin, but sometimes you just don't get rewarded for those kinds of shots. So he's at 85 and 6, and he'll punch a hard-fought 9 for 94 and 7. So Cody 50 hasn't found the head pin much, but he's been picking up a lot of easy marks and filling really well. And that will be a 5-drop, a late falling 5-drop, 4 horsemen left side, and the 8. And Cody's ball tailed off to the left rather quickly. Curved in the wrong direction. But he'll make a nice recovery for a 10 box. 104 and 8, Cody 50 has taken the first game officially. It's just gravy from here on out. Cody 50, the number 2 seed in ACST A North. He'll split 8. 8-10 with a piece of wood in front of the 8. Cody 50 was on Lita's Mass Holes for the Men's Worlds 2024 tournament at Lita Lanes this past fall. I was also on that team. And Cody 50 tries to skate over the 8 to the 10, and it loses steam right before the 10. And Cody will take another 10 box. 1 to go. He's at 114 and 9. Cody throws a very fast pitch. I know in Worlds, we kind of utilized him a little like a baseball pitcher where we would put him in for as long as he was physically able, and it seems just like real baseball pitchers, after X number of pitches or games or boxes or frames or balls or whatever, we then would just pull him for rest and swap him out with somebody else. I think usually I think often I would go in when Cody wasn't going in. But we also juggled people around, of course. Center diamond, the 1 diamond for Cody for a 10 box. That will be 8. Game 1 is a 122 for Cody 50, a 16-pin victory over Ryan Southall's 106. The interesting stat here is the head pins. Cody 50 only has a 30%, while Ryan Southall is a 60%. But yet Cody 50, thanks to the fills, took the first game with ease. 3 marks in a row. Strike on spare will also help with that. So here we are with Ryan Southall. Lane 5. Yeah, Lakeside Lanes. Ryan Southall is our away bowler today. From not from Exeter Lanes, from Riverwalk Lanes this season. He splits 8. Ryan Southall has 7 matches over 550 and 1 match at or over 600. And he just misses the spare opportunity. The wood thwarting that attempt. And he'll take a stick, 1 out of 2 for a 9 box in the first. So Ryan Southall, he has 1 match with a shutout victory, 5 matches with double-digit wins. He, on average, goes 26 for 50 on the head pin, and his split average per match is generally 14. And he'll drop 8, a late falling 8, 4-7 for Ryan Southall. Oh, and the wood defeats the spare attempt. Gets jammed within the channel in the sidewall. And he'll take a 10, making the most of it. 19 after 2 for Ryan Southall. And hey, in case you're confused about the scoreboard and want to know what any symbols mean, the green on the left is the head pin indicator, the red on the right is a split indicator. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. Ryan Southall is off to the left of the head pin. It's a pile of pins, a working ball. And he's on the object pocket, the 1-3. And he'll get 1 extra pin. Only the 5 pin remains. Ryan Southall opened up with a 106 first game. That's a 9 box for 28 after 3. So yes, there are also symbols for double strike, spare, and 10. The double strike are the quad triangles in the corners. The strike is the square. The spare is the triangle. The 10 is the X. I know an X can sometimes mean a strike in certain situations, but on this scoreboard it will mean 10. And that's a strike all the while for Ryan Southall. A late falling one, and as you see, the square means strike. And let's take a look at that replay from Ryan Southall. Bouncy ball in the 1-2 pocket, the 5 goes, and the 10 goes. Although the 10 fell before the 5. We're still waiting on the pin setter. There it goes. When you reset, and then reset so soon after the previous reset, you just need to wait a couple extra seconds for the pins to reload. Candlepin pin setters for you. Southall, orange pin, head pin. Look out. Almost a backdoor strike. Leaves the 5. 4 pieces of wood around the 5. One might think that this is a layup of a shot, but you need to be careful about this wood. Southall, but it's not a problem for Ryan Southall. That's a spare on strike. And that will put Southall at a powerful 58 and a bonus after 5. Saving his half with that spare on strike. And he'll fill that spare when he returns to the decks. Still 60% of the head pin. 9 for 15 for Ryan Southall. We now have Cody 50 on the opposite lane, lane 6. And he's off. Off to the races, that is. That's a 7 split for Cody 50. That's the 5, the 8, and the 10. And it'll get some sidewall action, oddly enough. The speed and force of that ball sent it all directions, taking an extra pin out, but not the object pin. That's the 5. That'll be a 9 box for Cody 50 in the first. Cody 50 rips 7 to the right of the head pin. Cody 50 has 33 strikes, 129 spares, and 117 10 boxes for the season with a perfect box percentage of 55. And Cody will run down the remaining 3 for a spare. And that was a fast one. A very fast mover for Cody 50 on that spare. And he'll not split 7, but leave the 2 triangle, the 2, 4, 5. Fill with 7 for 26 after 2. And Cody connects with the 5, leaves the 2 and the 4. And he'll miss the last 2, so that'll be an 8 box for Cody 50, 34 after 3. Cody 50 has 8 matches at or over 550. He has 1 match at or over 600. He has no shutout victories so far this season, but he has 7 matches with double-digit wins. Cody 50. A little full in the 1-3, drops 8, 4-7. Cody 50's head pin average per match is 27.5 for 50. And that will be a spare for Cody 50 on the 4-7. When he is on it like a missile. Look at this. See, again, just marveling at how fast these shots are and how accurate they still are. So for the half. Oh, and it looked like a ripper on the 1-3, but he splits. Bucket of 5 in the 10. It's a 4 fill. It's unbelievable how good of a ball that looked until it connected with the 1-3 pocket. Bucket of 5 in the 10 for Cody 50. Oh, and it goes. What an amazing spare by Cody 50. That's what he thinks about that. Take a look at this again. That bucket of 5 on the left and the right. The bouncing off the sidewall takes everything out. Amazing shot by Cody 50, and at the half, he's at 58. We are 58 love, folks. 2 marks in a row for both our bowlers in the 4th and the 5th. Cody 50 following up that spare 4 with another spare. 58 and counting for both of our bowlers. Here's Ryan Southall. Head pin drops 9. Fills with 9. 67 and 5. And that's Ryan Southall's 3rd mark in a row, and 77 and a ball in the 6th. This is Class A, folks. Class A getting warmed up. And Southall on the head pin again, fills 6. That's the 3 triangle. Southall's totaled 40 in mark fills, averaging 6.7 per mark so far. And on the diamond wins again. He takes 2 in the back. Or 1 on the side and 1 in the back. 3-6 remaining. No 4th mark in a row for Ryan Southall. And he'll take an 8 box for 91 in 7. Ryan Southall's home house is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. He has the 20th highest Class A average at 112.85. And he'll take a left side Caleri on the first ball. Named after Bob Caleri of WNDS Candlepin Stars and Strikes. There's 2 versions of this, 13610 or 1247. We are currently looking at the 12479, excuse me. $2-9 on the deck. I might actually have to fix that graphic. I think I had the wrong pin numbers. The picture is correct, just the pin numbers are wrong. And he'll take a 9 box. 2 balls to convert the Caleri don't work. Leaving 1 pin on the deck. 108 for Ryan Southall. 2 balls to jettison into the stratosphere. Southall is off to the left and drops 5. 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. One 3 pocket should take everything out. Southall's off to the left. And the third ball is into the void. 6 box for Ryan Southall puts him at 106 and 9. Sort of in this bell curve pattern where in the center of the game he had 3 marks in a row, and then he was cool in the beginning and somewhat cooling off here in the end. He's off to the left of the head pin for the 10th. Ryan Southall is 11 for 20 on the head pin with 3 splits. And he'll punch hard, leaving 3 on the deck. It's going to be a potential 116 game and a 113 minimum. And it will be 115 for Ryan Southall. Again, kind of cool in the beginning, hot in the middle, and cool at the end. For Ryan Southall, 3 marks in the center, 3 mark 115 for a 2-game total of 221 for Mr. Southall. Cody 50, who is on the bench with a mark at 58. 3 marks so far in the first half. We'll see how Cody 50 responds. And this is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. It's great to have you along with us this Wednesday afternoon at Lakeside Lanes. Ooh, and that's gonna hurt a little bit. That's a 2 fill. No, 3 fill. Takes out the left side, back, rear Candlepin corner. And Cody overcorrects to the right, takes out the 3 and the 9. We'll take 3, leave 2. That's an 8 box for 69 and 6 for Cody 50. Cody 50 has 5,700 seasonal total pins. His split average per match is 12.13. His home house is here at Lakeside Lanes. He has the number 5th ACST North highest perfect box percentage at 55%. And more about Cody 50 has the 13th highest Class A North average, as we're just waiting for a pin setter to just get out of its own way. Cody 50 in his past 5 matches has taken 56 points, averaging 11.2 per match, and that is actually quite impressive because Having a double-digit point victory average per match means you are in great positioning in terms of overall wildcard, divisional leadership status, and, of course, playoff contention. 50 on a 7 drop will spare it up. He wasn't on the head pin on the first ball, but he had a nice spare leave that he cleaned up. That's 79 and a bonus in the 7th for Mr. 50. 139 was what he was shooting at, and he used a sidewall. Connected hard on the left of the head pin. And Cody will fill with 4, leaving a 6-pack. Check his ID. Weak hard at Lakeside Lanes, featuring the 25th lane. An awesome bar, Lakeside Lanes. Really well-priced drinks, and run by awesome people at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. Come check it out, right off the Massabesic traffic circle on Candia Road. And 50 will clean up for a nice 10 box for 95 and 8. He can take the second game if he can just get a decent mark and a decent fill. If he gets 2 10s, he'll tie Southall at 115. Mr. 50 right on the head pin, splits 4. That's the spread eagle. The dreaded spread eagle in which you punch out the center, leaving the left and the right wings. Caw-caw. 1-5-8-9 taken out. $50 on the eagle. He picks the right wing. Only takes the 6 and the 10 out. Cody 50 in his past 5 matches has totaled 28.45 pins, averaging 569 per match. And 50 will take a 9. 104 and 9. Is going to need a mark at this point to tie or win now, losing a pin. So it's a must-mark situation for Cody 50. We are on mark watch. And Cody 50 having trouble finding the head pin. He leaves the 189 as the... well, sort of the inverse of the spread eagle, but the 5 pin is down. 189 with Home Depot down there. $50 on the 189 and the 2 perfectly down the center. Just too perfect. Goes right through the goalposts. Sends the ball and the pin and some of the wood through the void. So Ryan Southall will take the second game as a result of that not mark. 8, 9, or 10 for Cody 50, and it will be an 8 field goal. We'll give him 8 points for it. That's a 112 game 2 for Cody 50. 2-game total of 234. Cody 50 holds on to the total by 13. Ryan Southall takes the second game by 3. Southall with a 55% headpin completion percentage, 50 at a 40% headpin completion percentage. And both bowlers somewhat close to one another in terms of mark fills. Cody 50 has a slight edge, totaling 47 in fills, averaging 6.7 per mark. And Ryan Southall is averaging 6.7 per mark, but has only totaled 40 in fills. That's it for Game 2. We're moving on to Game 3 here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Southall splits 6. That is the 7, 8, 10, 6 for Ryan Southall. Wood is settling. Oh, and will he get the split? He will get the split and the spare. He had to split the 2 pieces of wood just the right way. As you see down there, the 6, 7, 8, 10. The 8 pin is the last to fall. Had to get the little bulldoze. That's a 7 fill for Southall. He wasn't on the head pin, but he got a decent mix out of it. That's the 1-3-7. Oh, and he'll just sail to the left of the 1-3. Oh, and he'll get a nice completion there. You might call that a Paul Grant special, in which you miss the second, get the third. It's a $1 donation to Candlepins for Cancer per occurrence. We'll talk more about Candlepins for Cancer just a little while here. Here's Ryan Southall. And he'll take 2. Lemon drop plus an extra pin. Center diamond, back left triangle, and the 10 pin. It's a little full through the head pin, leaves the 3-4-7-10. And he'll make the most out of that working box. That'll be 8 for Southall, 35 after 3. Ryan Southall just hovering over a 50% quarterback rating on the head pins. He has 4 splits, averaging 6.7 per mark so far on the fills. And he'll sail through the center, T-boning the pins, taking out 4, and that's a spread eagle for Ryan Southall. Southall on the eagle for a spare. Oh, and he'll sail through the center. Definitely wasn't the ball he wanted. You have to riskily go after the 2 and the 3, and oh my goodness, he'll do it twice. That might be our lowest box of the day so far. 39 after 4 for Ryan Southall with that spread eagle mishap. It's not always the bowler's fault. You kind of have to throw a risky ball, but it's never fun when it happens. But Ryan Southall will drop 9, and the 3 will wiggle on the head pin, on the pocket. It's just a single pin spare opportunity for Ryan Southall. But he misses the target. It's a wayward piece of wood out of play. Or out of the critical area, specifically. And he'll miss a second time, and the ball will even come back for an extra chance, but that's 48 after 5 for Mr. Southall. 1 mark. That 4 box was painful. It was a headpin shot, but spread eagles can sometimes be a double-edged sword. That's a 2.5 game total of 269 for Ryan Southall. And you're watching 3 Ball Spare. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. This is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. It'd be great if you could subscribe to this channel or leave a like and comment, whichever you prefer. Greatly appreciate it. Also check out the Atlantic Candlepin. We'll also go through a whole bevy of other pages you can check out, including the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook and whatnot. All that coming up in just a little bit. Cody 50 drops 5. He wasn't on the head pin. And he'll punch 1 more out. $50 on the 1-4-7-8. Oh, and a nice recovery and a nice 10 box. A great out for Cody 50, 10 after 1. In case you need to know how to read the scoreboard in the top left, it's basically points, match total, game total, and the gray area denotes the leads. It's the bowler's initials at the top of the screen. Cody 50 will split 6 with a very active piece of wood skating across the deck and the sidewall. 3-4-7-8. For analysis of this shot, I would play the 3-pin. Excuse me, that's not the 3-pin, that's a 6-pin. The 4, 6, 7, 8. My apologies. Depth perception from as far back as I am can sometimes be a thing of illusion. And Cody 50 will take the left 3, picking the safe route. It looks like he's just going to choose to pin this out, reset and forget. And that'll be a 9 for Mr. 50. 19 after 2. Cody 50, 9 for 22 on the head pin with 5 splits this match. He's been having some trouble just getting that first ball connectivity on the 1 pin. Here's Cody 50, getting a decent mix of 7, 1, 3, 7. So it's the 1, 3, 7, piece of wood behind the 1, the 3 diagonally. Play the 1, 3 pocket, and you should have a decent shot at taking the 7. And just like I said, that's a spare for Cody 50. Again, you play the 1, 3 pocket, skate down to the 7. Here's the shot, and the nice mix and the fast-moving slide of the pin against the deck. 50 filling a spare on the head pin, and what? There's a heck of a spare fill. That's what happens when you hit the head pin hard and on the pocket hard. Drops 9, leaving the 4. And Cody 50 will take a double spare, 48, and a bonus in the 4th. One strike, 8 spares for Cody 50, totaling 56 in mark fills, averaging 6.2 per mark. Here's Cody 50. To the right of the head pin, and he'll fill with 2, unfortunately. Punches hard on the 3 and the 9 for a right side half Worcester. And 50 is a little bit hard and a little bit too full on the head pin. He converts the half Worcester into a banana split. That's the 4, 6, 7, 10. And 50 will take 8. That makes his half 58 with 2 marks. 2 fill was a little bit painful. But 2 marks still isn't bad. Up by 10. 2.5 games in. And in the total, he's up by 23. Here's Ryan Southall. Our away bowler, and he's on the head pin, drops 8, 5, 7. Or 5, 8, excuse me. Southall on the 5, 8. Ooh, and he's off to the left. Takes the 8, leaves the 5. And he'll take a 10 box. 58 and 6 for Ryan Southall. Ryan Southall at Riverwalk is 46 and 38 for the season. His home record is actually worse than his away record. His away record is 38 and 18. That's a 2.11 win-loss ratio versus a 1.21. Working ball. And that's a nice spare for Ryan Southall, though. Second ball was a correction. Very well played correction. Watch this. To the left of the head pin. He didn't play the 1-3 pocket. He played the invisible 1-2 pocket. And filling that spare, it's going to be 6, 4 horsemen left side. 74 and 7 for Southall. 4 horsemen left side, 1, 2, 4, 7. Oh, and one of the pins gets stuffed. 4 pin is where the collision occurred. Traffic jam. So no spare for Southall. on the 7 pin for a 10 box, and he'll take it for a 10. Indirectly taking it via the wood. 84 and 8 for Ryan Southall. Two boxes to go before we assess the third game for Ryan Southall and the 3-game totals. Currently 305 and counting, and that ball is off target. Takes a left side Candlepin corner. It's the 1 diamond and the 6 triangle left on the deck. Oh, and the second ball takes only the 3 out. Welcome to Lakeside Lanes. How does he get shots like that here? Oh, and Southall. That'll be a hard-fought 5 box for 89 and 9. Seven drop for Southall. It's the 9, 10, 6. The 9 is wiggling. Piece of wood up against it. This triangle could go for a spare. Oh, and he's just off to the left of the 9. The 9 goes by way of a piece of wood. So it's going to be a potential 99 game for Ryan Southall. And that 8 makes it 97. So Southall with 2 marks, a couple of missed opportunities. The 4 box and the 5 box were really the pain points there. That's a 97 third game and a 3-game total of 318 for Ryan Southall, averaging 106. He has 53 in total bonus pins from fills, averaging 6.6 per mark with a 53% head pin completion percentage, 16 for 30 with 5 splits. And here's Cody 50. Featured on lane 5. Yeah, Lakeside Lanes, and that's a slow-moving strike for Cody, 50. Watch this. On the 1-2 pocket, the 5-pin fell last. Piece of wood connecting with the 10, and then spinning over to the 5, along with another piece of wood. Cody 50 for the double. He was on the pocket. It looked good on paper. Filled with, he splits 8, 7-10. 3 pieces of wood in front of the 7. And I'm not entirely sure I like the angle of any of it. Might be a situation where you might have to play the caps. Just the apex of all the caps down there. Or there might be a few other potential viable options, but it's going to be rough. Cody's hard ball, the chaos ball, as Bob Lee calls it. We'll see what happens. He plays the caps, but at an interesting angle, so he'll fill with 9. 77 and 6. And with that 10 box, that brings him to 87 in 7. So Cody 50 well on track to take the third game from Ryan Southall. Cody 50 firmly in the driver's seat this match. Taking the partially in the driver's seat. Still mostly in the driver's seat for the majority of the games. He's only lost the second game by 3. So Southall has at least 2 points in the bank. But Cody 50 has everything else so far. And we are just waiting on a pin setter to finish its thought. This lane has a bit of an issue where the gate partially peeks out. Then you have to press the button again for it to just go back up. Oh, and that's a rough lemon drop for Cody 50. As Ryan Southall makes a comment saying, Paul Grant, and don't worry, I got you covered. That's a situation where if you get this shot, it's a $1 donation to Candlepins for Cancer. Candlepins for Cancer is a fantastic charity organization run by Al Johnson and Paul Grant for helping out folks in the Candlepin community in need of cancer treatments and the like. So check them out at candlepins4cancer.com. And Cody 50 will clean up for a nice 10 box, 97 and 8. Candlepins for Cancer has a bunch of bowling tournaments. Should be the latest one. I think the roll-offs are posted on the website with sign-ups. So check it out. So if you don't want to bowl, you don't have to. You can always just choose to donate if you'd like, but there's the roll-off aspect of it as well, the actual sport aspect, which always makes it fun. And Cody 50 just having a heck of a time down there with a left side half Worcester now. Rolling with the punches, literally. 50 on the Worcester with a bouncy ball and nearly takes them all. Will the 5-pin go last? It looked like it was going to go, but the piece of wood just didn't have enough force to take the 5. $50 on the 5-pin. That's his third 10 box in a row for 107 and 9. A 3 mark 107 and 9 so far. Cody 50 has been on a tear recently. Remarkably, he's had 19 games in a row at or over 100, and he's had 5 matches in a row at or over 550, and his longest winning streak of greater than 7 points per match has been 8 this season. Just talking about Cody 50 in terms of recency, and he is doing very, very well right now. His season average is 114. When he's home, he's 40 and 30. When he's away, he's even better at 54 and 16, kind of inverse of Ryan Southall. At home, he averages 110.12. Away, he averages 117.88. That was a miss on the head pin there, and a 7-drop, 168 for Cody 50. And he's 12 for 30 on the head pin with 6 splits. And wow, debris flying everywhere, but doesn't get the spare. Leaves the 8-pin on the deck. And 50 will take a 10 box. His fourth 10 box in a row, and that will be a 117 game 3 for Cody 50. A 3-game total of 351, 49 pins off of 400. He's in control of the game by 20 at the end of the third, and he has the total by 33 as we go into the final 2 games to start the 4th game here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Ryan Southall still with a better headpin completion percentage overall, but Cody 50's just having a better time in terms of everything else, particularly mark fills and cleaning up leaves and extra pins on the deck. All comes down to the pinning. Ryan Southall drops 8 on the head pin, and he's just a little bit off of the head pin, connects with the 2, misses the 1 on the spare leave. Southall versus the head pin, and he'll take a 9 after 1. Southall 52% on the head pin, 16 for 31, with 5 splits. Ryan Southall right on the head pin, drops 9, rips 9, 8 is on the deck. Piece of wood rolling out of play. Cody 50 is going to go down to retrieve it. While we're waiting for that, so yes, again, here's the website for Candlepins for Cancer. Candlepins4cancer.com is the website. It's the place to go if you want to donate or sign up for roll-offs. All the money goes into the pool for assisting folks in need of cancer treatments and whatnot. So it's a great cause run by great people. That's Al Johnson and Paul Grant in the photo that was taken at the Big 20 Bowling Center in Scarborough, Maine recently. All right. And 50 will take his spare after that 9 drop, and after a dramatic pause, just removing that extra pin. Excuse me, Southall, not 50. Both of them were down there. Ryan Southall is at 19 and a bonus after 2. If you're wondering where the third camera, the full frontal camera, is today, I would have loved to have that for you today, but unfortunately the Wi-Fi at Lakeside wasn't working very well on this side of the building. So I had to take that third camera, which is my phone, and I'm using it as a hotspot, and it can't both be a camera and a hotspot at the same time. The technology just ain't there yet. So would have loved to have the full frontal camera today, but I would have rather had the option to stream live, so we went with that. 3, 6, 8, 10 for Ryan Southall. Fires on the head pin on the wood in the right spot, but the opposite sleeper pin just didn't go. That's 31 after 3 for Mr. Southall. Working ball, 1, 4, 7, 9, 10. 1, 4, 7, 9, 10 for Ryan Southall. Will it go? It'll go with the help of a piece of spinning wood. That's a spare for Ryan Southall, 41 after 4. Why don't we take a look at that again? That spinny teacup ride that piece of wood took. Watch that. Wrapped around the axle on all the pins in the back row. And Mr. Southall drops 6. He was off to the right. The head pin fills with 6, 47 after 4. 1, 4, 7, 9. Oh, and he's just off the head pin a little bit to the left and connects with a piece of wood that touches a pin in the back but doesn't take anything out. 1, 4, 7, 9 for Southall for a 10 box. And a 6 box is going to be. Bit of a missed opportunity there. 2 mark 53 for Ryan Southall. That 3 fill hurt a little bit along with that 6 box, but still 51% on the head pin, 18 for 35 with 6 splits, totaling 62 and fills, averaging 6.2 per match with 6 splits, 17% split percentage for Ryan Southall. Saying hello to Cody 50 for the first time this game. On the opposite lane here at Lakeside Lanes, Manchester, New Hampshire. Run by the Lipkes, Tim and Shane. Along with an also awesome cast of characters that keep this place looking great. Great condition, great lanes. Great color scheme. There is glow bowling here at Lakeside. They can selectively turn it on and off. And 50 will spare up the 4 horsemen right side. Let's get a look at that. 1, 3, 6, 10. And he runs them all down almost immediately. He was on the left of the head pin, and that thing was, those were gone. 50 on the head pin for a strike on spare. He nearly does it. He'll fill with 9. 19 after 1. And he'll spare it up. Double spare for Cody 50. These pin missiles on the pins. Like, look at that. There was a piece of wood that I was worried about, but the ball hit it so hard, it just plowed right back. Mr. 50. The 1-2 pocket. And see ya. That's a strike for Cody 50. That's a strike on spare. I am fumbling to press all those buttons, but there's the strike. I feel like these last 3 pocket shots have all been very similar. They either resulted in a very near miss of a strike or a strike itself. And we're just taking out a piece of wood in the gutter there, and we're going to have to reset an extra time. So 50 perfect on the marks, 49 after 3. 2 for 3 on the head pin this game. 14 for 33 overall on the head pin with 6 splits. So Cody 50 is coming out on top, even though he only has a 42% headpin completion percentage. I don't really know if that says more about the house itself. Maybe the sidewall action responds better to speed. I kind of actually sort of believe that, because lately I've noticed at Lakeside when I've been bowling, I've been having a tough time. I throw a lighter ball, and when I connect with the headpin at Lakeside, not a lot happens. But I've noticed if you throw a harder ball, things just seem to work out a little bit better. I don't know. Candlepin is weird. And 50 is off to the right of the headpin. 2-ball fill, so the next ball will complete the fill on the strike. That's the 1 diamond and the 4 triangle. Oh my goodness, and Cody 50 continuing the tear of marks. He is dialed in. That's my world's teammate right there, Cody 50, just barreling through. Berserker ball right down the center. Perfect marks, 69 in a bonus after 4. 50, let's keep it going on the head pin. Drops 9. Was almost going to be a disastrous split, but the extra falling pin turns this into a single pin spare opportunity on the 7. 78 in the 4th. And that's a perfect half a marks for Cody 50. It's 88 and a bonus after 5. 3 for 5 on the head pin, 43% head pin completion percentage, but that doesn't matter when you can just mark things up. 4 spares, 1 strike for Cody 50. 88 half for Cody 50. The front runner of Class A, showing us why he's the front runner of Class A. Here's Ryan Southall to respond. He's off to the left of the head pin. Drops 4 so far. And Southall working second ball, leaves the 1 and the 4. $8, $9, or $10 box for Southall. That'll be 9 for 62 and 6. In case you missed it, Cody 50 just threw a monstrous first half. 4 spares, 1 strike. His minimum fill was 9. And he still has 1 ball to go on that half, technically. Southall pushing a little bit too hard. Not quite a spread eagle, but not much better. He'll split 5. That's the 4 triangle, and then the 3, 6, 10. Southall for the spare, and he'll punch the 6. One of the pins will jump, and he'll leave 5 on the deck. Excuse me, it was a 4 drop at the beginning, not a 5. And Southall will take a 9 box. That will be 71 in 7 for Mr. Southall. Still trying to catch up to Cody 50's half of 88 and. Southall's to the right of the head pin. That's the 4 horseman left side and the 10. With a piece of wood interweaved between the 2 and the 4. Oh, and he'll run down the 4 horseman left, and he'll touch the 10, but it won't be enough to knock it over. Caused it to wiggle. Some of the most frustrating shots are when you touch all the pins and 1 is left on the deck. And that just happens, but Southall will clean up for a 10 box, 81 and 8. Ryan Southall in his past 5 matches is taking 32 points, averaging 6.4 per match. In his past 5 matches, his total pinfall was 27.04, averaging 540.8 per match in grand total pinfall. He's off to the left of the head pin. Southall in his longest streak of matches, his longest streak of strings at or over 100. Get this, 25 in a row. 25 strings at or over 100 in a row. That's a lot. So Southall is up there in superlatives for himself in terms of stats. His longest streak of matches at or over 550 has been 6, and he'll take a 5 box. A rough 5 there, 86 and 9. Southall's longest winning streak in the season has been three in a row. That's greater than 7 points per match. Here's Ryan Southall on the head pin with a strike. Him commenting, that makes sense. That's 96 and a bonus in the 10th. Get this replay while we have a moment. Wasting no time on that ball in the 1-3 pocket. The 4-pin falls last. And see, here's a situation where, yeah, he threw the ball the second the tubes released the pins pretty much. So we are just waiting on a little bit of catch up for the pin setter there. But now it's doing its thing. So here's Southall, 96 and a bonus in the 10th. And for the double, well, he's not on the head pin. 6 so far on the mark. So at least get over 100, but Cody 50 is a buzzsaw right now. It can't be stopped in this game. And at least he'll put an exclamation point on that strike. Filling with 10. That's 106 for Ryan Southall and a 4-game total of 424. 3 strikes, 8 spares, 20 for 40 on the head pin, exactly 50%. 7 splits, totaling 72 in fill in a grand total bonus pins based off of fills, averaging 6.5 per mark. So Cody 50 only has to make up a measly 18 to catch Southall in this 4th game, and he still has 5.5 boxes to go, or 5 1/3 boxes to go, technically. 50 filling a mark. On the opposite lane, and he continues that tear. It's going to be a 9 fill. Narrowly escaping the split. 97 after 5 for Mr. 50. Oh, and he ends the streak of marks. The single pin spare on the 7 pin is where the train stops. But he'll catch it. He'll catch that 7 pin regardless for a 10 box. So we even got a Paul Grant special out of this. Miss a second, get the third. $1 donation to Candlepins per cancer per occurrence. Single pin spares are really, really difficult to get, so bear that in mind. So 50, perfect so far still. 4 for 6 on the head pin. Drops 7, 1-3-7. This might be his first difficult spare leave of the match. Or of the game, that is. 16 for 37 on the head pin with 6 splits. Oh, and he was right on it. Nearly goes, but the 7 pin just narrowly dodges the head pin. And 50, that'll be a foul 9, I believe. 116 and 7. Cody 50 joking around saying, I think that's good. But it is 116. It is a 9 box. So 3 boxes to go. Cody 50 has already taken the 4th game by 10, and he's only in the 7th box. And there's another head pin shot, 8 drop, 5-3 for Cody 50. Cody on the 3-5, and he'll mark it up. Getting started once again for 126 and a ball in the 8th. Coming in clutch. That's why he's on our world's team. The team of nobodies, lead as massholes. Who made the playoffs, I will have you know. So, I guess we're a little less than nobodies now. That's a 7 fill and a split for Cody 50. Oh, an 8 fill. Late falling. 134 and 8. So that's the 410. Rough wood. Probably just going to have to do the chaos ball. Here we go. Chaos ball. Oh! It goes! The chaos ball is sometimes the best ball. That's 144 in the 9th for Cody 50, and let's take a look at this again. He didn't play the wood that I thought he was going to play. He played the center wood, which I thought he was going to play the right wood. And well, that was a very hard ball. It's a 3 fill, I believe, after all said and done. 147-9 for Cody 50. Will he spare this up? He almost does it. He leaves the 6 on deck. Nearly marks it up. That will be a 10, and Cody 50 will check in with a 157. 7 mark 157 for Cody 50. 508, 4-game total. Cody 50 is officially on 600 watch. He's on the 600 watch list because he needs... If he gets 100 in the next game, he'll have 608. So he doesn't even need 100 to reach 600. So, okay, this is awesome. So, Cody 50 takes this game by 51. And Ryan Southall, wasting no time, wants to get going on the 5th and final game. So Cody 50 in control of the total by 84. It's going to be a wild rematch when I face Cody 50, because when I bowled Cody 50 very early in the season, I threw my all-time high 5 of 659. But now it seems like Cody 50 is definitely in playoff form. That's an 8-box for Southall to start out in the first. So we've got Ryan Southall with 8 after 1. And he's on the head pin. Split 7, 5, 6, 10. Set back in the 6. There's a piece of wood to the left of the 5 at a slight angle. I think that's probably really the only way you can hit it. Oh, but Southall played it at a different angle, and actually it almost worked out for him. The piece of wood stopped short of the 10. And there's a 10 box for Southall, 18 after 2. Cody 50, 45% on the head pin, Southall 50%. But Cody 50 has the stronger record right now, this match, in terms of the raw numbers. So it's like, it's a weird, like, kind of metagame going on where Southall has actually the edge in some of the secondary stats, but Cody 50 has just been marking and marking and marking, regardless of if he's on the head pin or not. Southall was on the object pocket there, but leaves the 8 and the 10 with no mark. Oh, and Southall nearly takes the 10. But not quite. That's a 9 box for 27 after 3 for Ryan Southall. Hope you're enjoying this match. We're in the 5th and final game of this Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour Class A action here at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. If you're just tuning in, you missed Cody 50 through a 157. And Southall, though, with a nice strike in the 4th. Getting things going. He remarks, I must be down by 80. And, well, he was down by 80-ish as of the start of the game, but at least he's closing that gap a little bit. There's the strike by Ryan Southall. But at the moment, Southall only has 2 points. Cody 50 has everything else. Southall will rip 8. He wasn't on the head pin, but it was a decent mix. 1 of the 8. That was a Cody 50 ball right there. Here comes Southall on the 1 of the 8. Oh, and he's just off. Southall a little bit beside himself on some of these shots. That'll be an 8 fill and a 9 box for 54 after 5 for Ryan Southall. That is confirmed. He only went 2 for 5 on the head pin with 1 split that half. Currently 49% on the head pin, just dipping below 50. He was maintaining 50 up to this point. This is the first time I've seen it dip below 500. Cody 50 at 45% on the head pin today, 18 for 40. Cody 50 with more than Southall in terms of the fill department, but also way more in terms of the mark department. So proportionally, though, they are similar on fill per box averages, 7.4 for 50 versus 6.7 for Southall. Cody 50 coming off the bench hot with a strike. Another one of these insanely hard-fought, or hard balls, and I think I got that in replay. Oh, there you go. Well, right on the impact, see? And, yeah, blink and you'll miss it. And 50 for the double. Oh, wow, similar ball, but 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. Oops. Wow, it's just a... It's funny how nearly the same ball can net different results in Candlepin. It's like, that does happen. That's the sport there. 50 will punch one. Hard shot. It's kind of like you have to play the 5 in some way, but then you kind of ask yourself how, and you have to aim it right, and, you know, that's a 6 fill in the strike. And an 8 box overall for 24 after 2 for Cody 50. Both bowlers with a strike in this first half. Cody 50 has 4 strikes and 14 spares this match. And he'll split 7, not on the head pin, getting a nice splash, and it becomes 8 with a late falling 3 pin, 1 and 9 on the deck. I am certainly taking some notes based on Cody 50's performance today for League on Sunday night at Lakeside when I'm here. Seems like power wins the day, regardless if you're on the head pin or not at Lakeside, as of right now. That's a 9 box for Cody 50 on the head pin, 33 after 3. Cody 50 is 20 for 43 on the head pin with 8 splits. Here comes Cody 50 on the head pin, and we'll be at... You've got to be kidding me. That is, I was about to say that was a strike. Cody even says, he goes, Steve, did you get that? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did. In fact, let's even get a replay of that. Watch that. Look at this not strike. That 4 pin. Unbelievable, that 4 pin. The audacity of that 4 pin. That should have been a strike. That's one of those shots where you just truly get ripped off. And 50 misses the spare. Ball comes all the way around, and we might have another situation where the ball might actually return to us and not come off the decks. Kind of. Actually, I think it has a chance. It might be coming back. Oh, nope, it's in the right gutter now. Oh well. Thought we would have seeing that twice in a game. Would have gone out and bought a lottery ticket or something. But that's a Paul Grant special for Cody 50. All the while on lane 6. He missed the second and got the third. Paul Grant is always watching. That's unbelievable. That's a 10 box that absolutely should have been a strike for Cody 50. In fact, if we even have a second, watch this. I'll cut this short if Cody throws the ball, but watch this. Watch the way that didn't fall. Oh, here we go. Cody 50. Ah, it's off to the left. A left side half Worcester. 2-8 to conclude the half. He's off to the right, making everything symmetrical down there. 1, 4, 6, 7, 10. He's got a 5 box or greater he's looking at. Orange pin, head pin. And that will be, a 5 box for a 48 half for Cody 50. Really, by all rights, should have been a much higher half, but sometimes strike balls just don't go, and it's unbelievable. So he's currently at 556 at 4.5 games, still on 600 watch. And Ryan Southall at 478, 4.5 games in. That's your score update. This is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, Class A North at Lakeside Lanes. Southall starts out with a 6 drop and a split. That's the 4-6-8-10. The HTML comment. Maybe we can call that shot that. Oh, and he'll take the right 2 and leave the left 2. For an 8, 9, or 10 for Southall, it'll be a 10 box for 64 and 6. 488 so far for Southall. At the moment, it might be a 12-2 split if things keep going the way they appear to be going. Southall in the 1-2 pocket. He'll drop 9. Ryan Southall's 24 for 47 on the headpin with 9 splits as of right now. He's 4 for 7 on the headpin this game with 2 splits. Oh, and he's just off the single with wood across it. That was a gimme. Overthrew it to the left. So it'll be a 9 or 10 box for Southall. Now will be a 10, 74 in 7 for Mr. Ryan Southall. Ryan Southall averages 9.5 points per away match. In his past 5 matches, he's taken 7 strikes, 60 spares, and 58 tens. In his past 5 away matches, he's taken 38 points, averaging 7.6 per match. That's Southall on the headpin with late falling 8. He only has 4 of his 10 matches without double-digit wins. He recently faced Lewis Grafham in round 10. He took 6 points with 525 total pinfall. That's a third 10 box in a row for Ryan Southall, all the while 84 and 8. In that match against Lewis Grafham, Ryan Southall threw 140, 86, 116, 90, and 93 with 1 strike, 9 spares, and 17 tens. He went 26 for 50 on the headpin with 16 splits that match. Ryan Southall, powerful splash to the left of the headpin, 136, 7 drop. Oh, and he's off again. Having trouble finding that headpin. He's consistently missing to the left, it seems. And he'll take a 9 for his efforts. I guess it wouldn't have gone anyway. That's 93 after 9 for Mr. Ryan Southall. Ryan Southall is the winner of the 2022 Nico Singles New England Knockout. He's from Raleigh, Massachusetts, averages 115. Overall, his all-time high single is 178. His all-time high triple is 445. His all-time high 5 series is 662. It's a split for Southall. Final stats, 26 for 50 on the headpin with 10 splits, but he's not done with the marks, though. That's 1 last spare for Ryan Southall. 103 in the 10th, plus a ball. Watch this. This was a great one, too. On the 3-6, 4-10. On the 3-6 pocket. Took everything out. He's going to fill that spare now on the headpin, and he'll get a decent fill out of it with 8. That will put him at 111. And that's it. 535 series total for Ryan Southall in the 10th. Bit of a rally towards the end for 4 points, potentially. But Cody 50 confirmed will have the total by 21. He still has 5 boxes to go, and he's on 600 watch, so we're just going to sit back, relax, and watch Cody 50 potentially complete a 600 series here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly in the call for 3 Ball Spare Conglomerate. I invite you to strike, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications by ringing that bell for 3 Ball Spare on YouTube if you want to see more content from me in particular. But we also have a whole bunch of other stuff that we're going to be queuing up for you in just a moment. So Cody 50 on box 6. Before we go, I want to thank a couple people like our ACST League Commissioner Danny Finn, our Class A Treasurer Rich Lamone, our ACST statistician Micah Imparato, the staff at Lakeside Lanes for being so accommodating and just being overall awesome for hosting us today. I'd like to thank Steve Abodeely for some of the B-roll and photography you've seen today. Check his work out at stabodeely.com, stabodeely.com. Steve Abodeely, a good buddy of mine for several decades. I'd like to thank viewers like you for watching, of course. Wouldn't do this without you. Always appreciate you watching in any way, shape, or form. If you enjoyed what you saw and want to see more, let's talk about all the other things that are out there in the Candlepin world, such as the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook and YouTube. You may be there already. There's the Candlepin chat group on Facebook. There's the Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And shout out to Candlepin Bowling Network. I'll be going live for Candlepin Bowling Network on Saturday for Money Match 15. Sean Baker versus Aaron Fontaine at Exeter Bowling Lanes at 11 a.m.-ish this coming Saturday. There's also Candlepin Corner on YouTube, at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok. Cody 50 drops 7 on the headpin. There's Outrun the Bear on Facebook and Instagram. Alley Chat on YouTube. There's a new, there's a spare for Cody 50 all the while. We'll get a replay of that going. There's a new YouTube channel I just discovered called Bowling with the Gothiers, so check that out as well on YouTube. Shout out to them. They've been posting a Candlepin chat recently, so I'm adding them to my master list of things to shout out about. Also check out for the classics, older Candlepin matches. It's a 9 fill for Cody 50 all the while. He's at 584. I think he's going to get it. Wolfman12395 on YouTube for classic Candlepin matches of yesteryear. There's the Candlepin Bowling channel on YouTube. There's also Alley Chat's YouTube channel. They all post classic matches. There's also podcasts such as The Approach and Ripping the Rack. There's Tony Levesque on YouTube and Charlie Collins on TikTok. So check all of that out. And there's a, wow, that was a strong sounding spare by Cody 50. That was a, yikes, that noise was, almost sounded like something broke. It sounded metallic, but he punches that right in the face. I think a cap might have flown off a pin. I'm not sure. 2 spares in a row for 50, 86 and 8 plus a ball. Oh, Cody 50, he tried to go crossing over left to right a little bit more to try to get a little bit more action out of that, but he'll fill with 6. 92 and 8. Six drop for Cody 50, 1368. Oh, and he nearly gets a spare. A piece of wood comes across the 6 and doesn't push it forward enough for it to go down. But he is at an even 600 as of right now. Cody 50 has crossed into 600 territory. That's a 10 for 610 and 102 in the 9th. Let's see. What is Cody 50's high series for the season is 613. If he can mark and get a decent fill, he'll get a new high 5 today for the series, or for the season in the ACST this year. Cody 50 recently faced Bob Allard in round 10. He took 10 points of the 589 series, and there's a 6 drop on the head pin for Cody 50, a 2 diamond. Cody 50 threw a 131, 117, 125, 110, and 106 in this match against Bob Allard. He went 27 for 50 on the head pin with 6 splits in that match. And 50, that's a spare. That might be enough to be his new high 5. And actually, that is his new high 5. Actually, no, 613 was what he had to beat, and he's at 620 now. So yes, congratulations, Cody 50. This is your new high 5. High 5 to Cody 50. Bonus ball. Oh, off to the left, 3 fill. So his new high 5 for the season is 623 for Cody 50 here at Lakeside Lanes. He'll take the total by 88, and he'll take the game by 4. Just barely surviving the 5th game, but that total, holy moly, that total. Cody 50 went 4, strikes 17 spares. Ryan Southall 4 strikes 9 spares. 52% head pin completion percentage for Southall, 48% completion percentage for 50, who went 24 for 50 on the head pin with 9 splits. We'll cue up the final stats here. So it will be a 2-12 split. Ryan Southall will take 2, and Cody 50 will hold on to 12. 623 for Cody 50, 535 for Ryan Southall, 4 strikes love, 17 spares for 50, 9 spares for Southall, and a perfect box percentage of 68% for Cody 50, 48% for Ryan Southall. So in the fills department, Cody 50 with 149 and fill totals averaging 7.1 per mark, eclipsing Ryan Southall's 88 and fill total averaging 6.8 per mark. And going at the end of everything else, Cody 50 is at 106 and 48. Ryan Southall moved to 86 and 68. Those are your final scores for the final time. Ryan Southall 535, Cody 50 623. And again, check out the multiverse of Candlepin Bowling, such as Candlepin Bowling Network, Candlepin Corner, TikTok, the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook, my page 3 Ball Spare. Check out Candlepin Chat, Alley Chat, and of course all these classic Candlepin shows on YouTube that we mentioned just a little while ago. Of course, the podcast Ripping the Rack and The Approach. There's Tony Levesque and Charlie Collins. Again, my page 3 Ball Spare on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Can't forget about candlepins4cancer.com to sign up for qualifying roll-offs or to donate, and also check out candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center. Anyways, I've been Steve Kelly for Ryan Southall at Cody 50. For everyone here, have a great one, everyone. See you at the next Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour.